So probably about 100 of you guys sent me this video, the extreme 996 work culture in China. And if you're unfamiliar with that, it means they work 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week. I'm not sure what I can personally do, little old Josh, against the CCP in changing that sort of work schedule and work culture. But I'll watch this video and I'll give you my honest thoughts. And to be fair, a lot of the based comments are in the comments section here, talking about how, you know, if your margins are that thin, then maybe you should hire more people. And then this guy from South Korea saying we used to be like that, but now we have rules to prevent overworking. And then I'm surprised I don't see a top comment here talking about Japan, which they have a word, death by overwork. It's karoshi. I'm probably pronouncing that all sorts of wrong, but the Japanese actually have a word for death by overwork. They take pride in working very, very long hours. And like in Japan, if you fall asleep at work, that's a sign of loyalty, which is like almost rewarded there. And so in general, I think we can all agree that it's pretty unhealthy to work these sorts of hours. As people work more hours, you have a diminishing return on your output. I'll go ahead and watch it and I'll give you my thoughts.
996 is a phrase used to describe the routine of working from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week. However, the dark side of working 996 came into the spotlight in January 2021, when an employee died while working for an e-commerce giant.
Was it Teleperformance, the one that made all the people install webcams and you have to agree to like let them watch your kids and take polygraphs and tests and stuff? But they had someone die in the call center and they told everyone just to keep working and the cleaners will be in at the end of the day.
However, many, like Nicole, still cannot escape the grind.
It's really sad that this person has to be like masked, like it has a voice mask and stuff on so that she can't be identified, I assume.
After getting her master's degree in the UK, she worked 996 in a tech company in Shenzhen for 3 years. In 2020, she left this company to work for one of the biggest internet companies in China, but the situation only got worse.
It's not about the hours. It's about the work you put into the hours, because otherwise you could just work really slow. And I guarantee you, everyone that works the schedule is doing exactly that. Budgeting all of the tasks that they get out as far as they can, because there's no point when you're just going to be rewarded with another 12-hour day.
大概是9点到9点半的样子回到公司，就是一直工作到晚上9点钟起步。
Here's the part where we get to the ugly truth. If you don't like it, start your own company or go somewhere else, because more and more companies are just going to try to get you to work more and more and more and more as time goes on, as they squeeze productivity out of everyone. And the problem here, if you put your foot down and you say no, then there are 100 other willing, gullible people that will do it with a smile on their face. And for those who don't, goodbye, supply and demand.
如果是下半年的话，大概基本上是11点半到12点下班，然后基本上没有午休。
I'm not super familiar, super deep with their culture or anything, but I know honor is a big thing, but this doesn't seem like there's any honor in this. I'm sorry, working yourself to death does not seem honorable. That seems really dumb. But maybe that's just me. I'm not trying to say any really cultural insensitive things because I'm not super familiar. I've never been to China. I don't know. I'm just giving you my US eyes and my mindset on how I think this is insane, which I think a lot of people outside of this schedule would also agree that this is insane. But if you're these people, what can you do? And there's only so much you can do. You can't even speak about it because you'll get disappeared.
以前下了班还会弹弹琴啥的，现在就是基本上下班就洗个澡，然后就躺下，然后就开始玩手机，也不知道在看什么，就是那种漫无目的的，就是已经没有感觉，手机就这样。
So she's got the commute to and from work, the entire work day. So that leaves her with like 2 hours, maybe. Take shower, eat some food, change your clothes, do some laundry, some little errands around the house, and then get ready to start your day again. And I could see this when you're working for yourself, but when you're working for someone else that's just trying to get the maximum out of you for the minimum possible amount they have to pay you, it's not worth it. There's always going to be work to do.
It was really hard to make an appointment with Nicole due to her packed schedule, so we had to catch her on a train ride home.
是下午3点到6点，对，但是就是一开就开到没有时间在家吃，对，就是早中晚都在公司吃。
No amount of money is worth this sort of mental exhaustion. People that haven't had money before think that they'll do it, and they will, and they'll work really hard initially until they have money. And now they own things that put them into the golden handcuffs, and so now they can't quit their job, so now they're locked in to this life. But that's what you do when you're unhappy. You go buy something that you need your job to pay for, but that thing is supposedly going to make you happy, and so you buy more things, and now you're dependent on your job to pay for those things, and those things aren't making you happy because every day you're going back into work and you're still mentally drained and mentally exhausted. It's not worth it. No job is worth that. Like, not for someone else. Do it for yourself, not for someone else.
沟通的话就是大家会，对，就是打字啊，喂，怎么了？因为可能本身这个行业的变化是比较快的，所以面试的时候和你进来以后，就是完全可能会不一样的。
Oh, that's true, right? They can tell you whatever they want in the interview. Jobs can lie to you on job applications. They can say you're going to be a front-end developer and then make you a marketing designer. And there's nothing you can do about it because you either want the money and the job or you don't.
也是没有太想到，因为之前也没有说可能你要去，现在可能就是一个随时待命的这样子的一个状态。
加班比较频繁，
频繁，
对啊，
频繁啊，工时都超过了。
像每天下班这么晚，你说要开心哦，要快乐肯定是没有。那
This sentence on the screen, I'm not happy for sure, just exhausted. Life is too short. You'll never be on your deathbed wishing you worked overtime. I mean, you just won't. This is more like a video about mental health now. It's not worth it. Quit. Go do something else. Work ethic is good. Working yourself to death is not.
Ming is a game operation manager working in Shanghai. In her previous work, Ming faced similar problems to Nicole.
996它其实不是严格意义上的，就是说晚上9点下班，一周工作6天这个样子，而是现在它变成了一种，就是随时为了工作要处于一种待命的一个状态。那也就是说，你可能随时随地都需要。
That's what flexible schedule means, by the way. When you see that, it means flexible for them, not for you. It means that they can call you whenever. We're gonna flex into the weekend. We're flexing into the holidays.
就比如说我之前的工作的话，经常需要凌晨2、3点。
I could just feel all the greedy CEOs looking over here going, we need to find a way to implement that. We're going to keep it subtle. We're going to bring bean bags and sleeping pods into the office. We're going to offer 3 meals a day at the office so they never have to leave. And then we're going to convert these old business offices into residential properties since no one wants to come into the office. What if we just make the office their actual home and subdivide them into apartments like serfs? That's actually happening. There's another video I'm going to show, probably tomorrow, on that exact thing.
起床来响应问题，我甚至到后期都出现了一种幻听，就是我总觉得我的手机在响，总觉得有人在找我。
Chinese labor law stipulates that employers should not force their employees to work more than 8 hours a day, or more than 44 hours a week.
It doesn't matter when you're hanging people's paychecks over their head, telling them if they want it, they got to do it. Otherwise, you can leave. You're fired. Right? So people do it.
However, the execution of the law seems ineffective.
Well, yeah.
To avoid legal problems, HR often uses non-fixed working hour contracts to replace the term 996. In China, work unions are not independent organizations formed freely by employees.
Does this surprise anyone?
And work unions established without government approval are illegal.
I'm not surprised here. It just sucks that like all these people are trapped.
Due to the complications of these labor laws and the difficulty of establishing unions, it is hard to protect the rights and interests of workers.
忙的那段时间，我不是进了，我去急诊去了4次，然后一次是心脏不太舒服，就我可能，就是可能需要就是比较稳定的，比如说每个月我需要有一些 income。
Here's the thing. You always have to pay for your health. And you can do this in 2 ways. You can either pay for it on the day-to-day by keeping a work-life balance and making sure that you're physically, mentally healthy, or you pay for it later in one lump sum when it's usually too late, when you're in the hospital, sick, exhausted, dying, whatever it is. You always have to pay for your health. Just keep this in mind. It might not seem like it right now, but you will someday.
是所有人都那么幸运，就是我的工作内容是跟我自己想做的事情，他们是就100%一致的。那你肯定会有一些不适应的地方，但是你作为你确实你要生活呀，所以你要工作。
首先肯定还是比较高的薪资， 因为确实就是如果换工作的话，没有现在这样的待遇。
Take less money and take your mental health back.
周围的人都在跟我过一样的生活，就是会有一种不甘心吧，就是别人既然都能撑下来了，那我为什么不可以？就以这个为目的的话，那我觉得我之前的生活方式确实没有办法做到快乐，所以我决定还是对自己好一点。
In a snub to China's rat race and expectation to work long hours, Generation Z are calling on their peers to start slacking off, or as they have dubbed it, 摸鱼.
Let's think about the context. Why are they slacking off? Well, probably because they're not being rewarded for working hard. People have a sense of fairness. The harder people work, the more they expect something out of it. Unless you're a volunteer, you're working at a charity or something. When you're working for someone else, that's not in your power. That's not in your control. You got to depend on other people to recognize that, which they don't care about that. They just care about their profit. So people put themselves in this loop of thinking that, okay, they didn't work hard enough and they didn't get rewarded. And that's because they didn't work hard enough before. So they do it again, they didn't get rewarded. And they work harder and then they didn't get rewarded. And they work even harder and then they didn't get rewarded. Then they work even harder and they have like a heart attack or a stroke or something from exhaustion, and then realize that this company never cared about me. And it's really unfortunate that it takes this long for people to realize that companies care about profit, not you. Even if they say they care about you, they don't. Just ignore it. It's just there for LinkedIn.
其他紧急的事儿的时候，就会下楼跟同事摸个鱼，然后顺便买个咖啡啊什么的。
If I didn't have anything urgent, I'd go have a cup of coffee. Like they're like sneaking underneath the stairs to do drugs or something. Like they're just having coffee.
你当然也不敢离开工位太久了呀，万一老板要找你找不到人怎么办？倒不如说是摸鱼，应该算是打工人仅有的乐趣了，就真的靠偶尔间歇性的摸鱼撑过这一整天。
In a post on Alibaba's WeChat account, leading tech titan Jack Ma famously stated, I personally think that being able to work 996 is a huge blessing.
Wait, Jack Ma got disappeared anyways for saying something, I think. So
Also wrote that he won't defend 996, but he salutes those who are willing to work hard to improve their livelihoods.
wow, can you pay your bills with a salute? No, I salute the people who work. Who cares? You pay them?
Li Ran works in a web media company in Beijing as a manager, leading a team of 20 people. She believes that if you feel there's no way to escape, you should work harder instead of complaining.
It's not complaining when your health is at risk. And like I just said, you're not in control of if you're rewarded for working harder.
从某种角度上来说是难以避免的，就是你不做总有人来做，然后从公司的角度其实来说也是一样的，你不加班，然后其他的公司都在加班，然后你公司的成本就会提高，你的效率就会降低，然后你就会被
Your efficiency will decrease. You got it backwards. The more you overwork your employees, the more your efficiency decreases.
被别人赶超，有些时候可能未必是我们主动去选择的一件事情，而是说因为你身边的人都在往前跑，你就不敢停下来，或者是公司给了我相应的一定的回报，也是因为我当时选择了坚持下来，而没有坚持下来的小伙伴。
Any company that rewards you for sticking through it was a toxic company to begin with.
就首先有一点就是其他人都在996，你不可能不996，成为那个异类，或者是老板眼中那个表现不好的喜欢偷懒的人。第二就是就算是老板，我觉得他们可能也是迫于无奈而这样子的，因为我们的业绩要求确实压力很大。
西方国家相比，我们在文化上还是有一点差异，我们的文化是有这个尊卑和上。
So that's the big thing here, right? Cultural differences defined by different levels of superiority. You either assimilate or get disappeared.
Heavy stress is weighing on young employees in China due to the immense pressure they place on themselves to improve their economic position and social status.
That is not up to them. It is up to the person above them deciding if they're worth the extra budget. It's not worth destroying yourself for the benefit of someone else so that you can look good socially. Part of me wonders what these people are treated like if they reject it. Like this, something happened to their social credit score, because that's, they have that thing there that tracks if you're a good employee, a bad employee, whatever.
There is hope for change as some companies begin to acknowledge the extremity of 996 and offer fairer working hours to their employees.
Yeah, I guess that's the end of this video. Thank you for listening to my rant. I'm sorry if I said anything culturally ignorant or dumb. That's not my intention. I know it's a lot easier for me to sit here and be like, all right, well then just say no and go your own way. than it is to actually do it. It's not that easy for them to just go find a new job, especially when you've already bought things that depend on the income of your old job. So you can't just take a lower paycheck all of a sudden. And then when you don't like it, they'll just say, all right, well, you're fired or you can quit, and then they'll hire someone else and push them and make that paper, because that's what business is all about. It's not about you having a great life. It's about the company making more money year over year. Anyways, if you enjoyed it, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. There's some links in the description that support the channel. I have a Patreon if you want to go help keep me doing what I'm doing. That'd be great. But if not, that's great too. No pressure. And I'll see you guys in the next one.